Well, let's give the guy one win because it'll be a win for him and everybody else. Trump announces National Center for Homeless Vets, paid for the funds previously used to house illegals. America Last is out. America First is in. Friday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to establish the Center for Homeless Veterans titled Keeping Promises to Veterans and establishing a National Center for Warrior Independence. This order will create the National Center for Warrior Independence in Los Angeles, California, on the Veterans Affairs campus. This funding will come from money previously used on illegal immigrants. If that's not a total reversal, what is? According to LA VA website, the center was established in 1887 through a grant from former Republican Senator John Percival Jones and John Wolfskin. Trump writes that once Great Place declined over time, not accommodating veterans and allowing other entities to use the property for other means. The Department of Veterans Affairs leased parts of the property to a private school, private companies, and the baseball team of the University of California, Los Angeles. Sometimes it's significantly below market prices, the order reads. Communicating the problem of homelessness for veterans, Trump said, as of 2024, there were approximately 3,000 homeless veterans in Los Angeles, more than any other city in the country and accounting for about 10% of all American homeless veterans. Many of these heroes live in squalor in Los Angeles' infamous Skid Row. And so for this, I mean, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say that one time, the first thing you need to get off the streets is the veterans. Our vets should always, thank you for your service. They should always be taken care of.
No, I'm not gonna say I disagree with that. I'm definitely feel like we need to do right by the people who went out to serve this country. We need to make sure we honor what we told them we would do for them and not leave them to kind of just be sitting there like trying to figure it out for themselves. I really feel like they need to have better programs when they do go to the military so they can go out and actually get better jobs. We talk about trade schools. They need to have more trade schools in the military, teaching these people actual, because it's very hard to transition for a lot of people from military service to actual civilian work. I noticed that a lot. We live in a military town, so we notice a lot of military people who just do not transition well. Do I think that all veterans, if you were dishonorably discharged, depending on what it was for, I do feel like we do owe you something because you did sign up to serve this country. But at the same time, we need to make sure we pay attention to what do we do for them. Not all of them are going to be 20 years in the military. Not all of them are going to do a bunch of time in the military. So give them some kind of a trade to kind of help them along the way. If they're not, then this is definitely a good program to have something like this where you're actually putting money back into housing veterans and getting them back on their feet. But at the same time, get them some kind of a trade. You know what I mean? That goes for people who are in prisons as well, too. Do something for your people in this country, man. It sounds like he's trying to do something here, and I'm all for it. I don't have to speak negatively about everything a person. I don't have to like what who the person is or what's going on. If they do something right, you got to give them. You got to give them
props for it because I mean, if he's using the money, you're giving it. And I said that too before. That was like one of my quarrels with Democrats. I was like, I've said it too. I was like, you're stepping over homeless people and you're stepping over veterans to give this stuff to these illegal people that aren't supposed to be here anyways. You know what I'm saying? So for him doing right, at least by the veterans on this part, I'm going to give him his W for that.
I think that at the same time, too, we do need to pay attention to what money he is taking from migrants, because I don't think you should take all money from migrants. I think that, from people who immigrants who come to this country, I think we're doing a very negative thing to American growth, American prosperity by these new laws and this new regime that we have in office. They're destroying our base of workers. I mean, imagine how many we're going to lose over the next 4 years. And then with the onerous laws that he's put in place and the way that he's trying to, put his knee on the necks of, choke points that are places where migrants come up through the border. We got to pay attention to that because it's going to hurt us long term. We have a projected growth rate in this country, and it's not based off of Americans. Trust me, we do not make enough babies in this country to feed, to make sure that our, Social Security is being paid to next generations, because that's how you pay it. It's not always the fact of, what I paid into it. No, it's the fact of the people who come along after you and how many hours they work. They're paying for your Social Security. So pay attention to that. We don't have enough of these people in our country right now. We need more.